Alright, so we're here, episode 2. First episode we did a full-on push day, but today we're going to be focusing on more shoulders with a little bit of triceps. What Derek has been working on is going to be a little bit different, and so there's a reason and a method behind what we're doing that I'm going to let him explain.
So we're going to start off today with some shoulder raises, bar. It's going to be a little bit different. You're coming from a dead stop. You start from a dead stop, go all the way up above head, they come to a dead complete stop. A lot of times what ends up happening is people use they jerk it and use things like that, and that's not really going to build up your raw strength. So just to demonstrate how he's going to do it, he's going to start off right here, and then it goes right in the get-go. This is going to be a dead stop. This is going to be really hard to do. So he comes up. What he's going to do is going to activate his lats and everything like that. I want to do about a neutral grip, kind of like if you were about to do a bench press, okay? So come up here, do that there. He's going to activate his lats, raise his chest up, start activating his shoulders. He's going to go right up into the movement right there. All the way up. And what you want to do, once it comes all the way up, wants to make sure his core is engaged, want to make sure the weight is in line with his spine. Okay, scapula is in place and everything like that, and then come right back down. 10 reps. Dead stop every time. It's a very difficult exercise. It's hard to do with a whole lot of weight, but it does make your shoulders work a whole lot.
One coaching cue that you're gonna hear him give me a lot if you watch enough and pay attention enough is to activate my core. So much like many Americans that sit behind the desk, because whether it looks like it or not, most of my day is spent sitting down behind a desk, so I have back issues if I'm not careful, right? My back is much better than it ever has been, and a big part of that is focusing on engaging my core. So we may not necessarily do a lot of isolated core work, but I'm working my core with every set, which is why, especially when we go overhead, you'll hear him tell me, core tight, activate your core, because it's not just about sucking your stomach in, it's about tightening everything in your core, your midsection, engaging your lats, everything else around you to keep you stable. And that's one of the things that I wasn't doing a lot of before that led to a lot of issues for me. So that's one of the things that he really focuses on when we're in our training sessions, is that core activation on everything that we do.
If you do a movement properly, you're going to engage your core. That's one thing for sure. You'll see a lot of people walk around and they're wearing weight belts all the time, no matter what they're doing. It's because they decide not to engage their core and they just let it be. But if you do the movement properly, your core will be engaged. You won't need to wear a weight belt because you're using your core all the time.
Anyway, here's the thing. If you want to be successful, you got to keep successful people around you, even in lifting, right? So I got my man, Big Shirley. I train with Derek, but Big Shirley takes care of my body for me too, because part of this recovery, and you've seen it in other videos, we're going to cover it coming up, but part of the recovery is breaking down soft tissue and actually focusing on the recovery just as much as the training. So in one of the next episodes when we train, you'll be seeing a little bit more behind the scenes of what happens when it goes into the recovery part with my dude Big Shirley over here.
Now listen, you'll see me touching on the man's skin. Listen, there's no funny business going on. I be trying to tell people all the time, these hands right here, these hands, it's like you heard about that dude called King Midas, right? Hands with gold. I touch you, you turn to gold. Cash money. That's all listen. cash, money. I ain't got no time to play. Holla at your boy.
So today, we focus a lot on shoulders and, like Derek would say, raw strength. So the idea is to build as much raw strength as possible to go along with the rest of our lifts, keeping in mind that to have that raw strength, you also have to have strong core, good setup, good execution. So I rely on Derek to handle that for me.
Raw strength is what everybody really wants, you know. When you're really trying to build up your body, a lot of people use momentum in order to drive through. You don't really want to do that too often, you know, because it's not really going to build up strength, you know. It's not really going to show how strong you actually are. We're doing things from dead stops, building up as much as you can from there. That's where you're going to really show how strong you are. You know?
My dad's a big goober when he's not on camera.